Hi, Bonnie.
Good morning, ladies. How are you
Morning.
today?
Very
Good,
well. How are
you?
you?
I'm great. Greetings from Toronto, Canada, where you both have so many fans. It's ridiculous. So thank you for
Oh,
your time
thank you,
today.
Bonnie.
Oh,
That's very kind.
seriously, my pleasure. I am one of them, I have to say.
Oh,
Okay, Laura, let's start with you. I would think joining this fantastic series, which really just from the jump is we know what's going on here from the first 10 minutes of this series. But, being created by Guy Ritchie, no brainer to join in for this.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty sexy package to be offered. You had Helen Mirren, Pierce Brosnan, Tom Hardy attached, Guy at the helm. Jez Butterworth was writing the
Yes.
scripts, and I'd been a massive Jez fan from all of his wonderful stage plays. And I knew little more than that, and it was still a yes. So, and then Joe Fro, I had the pleasure of doing my very first telly with 20 years ago,
Yes.
nearly 20 years ago.
really?
So
Yeah.
to be reunited as well was on a personal level was really nice.
Oh, it's just fun to watch it, I have to say. Now, Joanne, she is different from Mrs. Anna Bates, I gotta say. So for you to be able to take on this character, work opposite Tom Hardy, what oh my God, he's
It's a tough day in the
extraordinary,
office, isn't it? When you have to
right?
look at
It's
Tom
like,
Hardy every
oh,
day.
seriously. And I love that, Joe Fro. Do you mind if I call you that? That's
No, I love it.
awesome.
It's my name. It actually was a nickname that started on Downton and then it's like, and it's spread from job to job. And I love it. I love my nickname. I can't remember who started it, but it
I
started around the
love it.
servants' hall dinner table, I think. And I love my
It's
nickname.
fantastic. But for you to play this woman who's in this marriage, who she knows what her husband does,
Yeah.
but kind of sweep it under the rug. Yet there's some
Mm.
marital problems going on there. Talk to me a little bit about her. She's fascinating to me.
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, Jan is obviously Harry's wife, and they've been together over 20 years. And as you say, she's complicit. She knows who Harry is, she knows what he does for a living. She just
Yeah,
doesn't like to know the details. And when Harry comes home, they're absolute equals. I think she's the one person in Harry's life, one of the very few people in Harry's life who isn't intimidated by him or scared of him and isn't afraid to tell him the truth.
yeah.
Um, and one of the few people in Harry's life who he will take it from.
Mm-hmm.
And that also came from Tom as well. When we were discussing our characters, we met for the first time on set. We'd had no rehearsal period because the job sort of happened so quickly,
Mm.
didn't it? So we
Yeah.
sort of got our heads together on the first day and tried to kind of brainstorm and go, okay, how do we make it believable that our characters have been married for 20 odd years? Let's give them some backstory and this and that. And Tom said to me, Harry's a very powerful man. The woman he's married to will be equally as powerful, if not more powerful. And I thought, oh, great. It was almost like,
You
he gave
license,
me
yeah,
license to go, oh, this
to
is
own your space,
because I was
yeah.
like, oh, this is what I want to do. That I don't want her to be like, you know, the the
Pining
trope, the
wife.
trope
Yeah.
pining wife, like, oh, Harry, where are you? Where are you?
Yeah.
I want her to be tough. I want her to have a great, like, sarcastic sense of humor. So it was wonderful that we were on the same page with that. And I was like, yes,
Mm,
thank you, Mr. Tom Hardy. I'm going
mm.
to run with this. Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And Laura, like you said earlier, like this cast is just freaking unbelievable. But to see Pierce Brosnan play this ruthless, like,
Yeah.
honest to
It's
God,
frightening,
like
isn't it?
at the
I mean,
end
he's the
of
most
episode
utterly
one,
charismatic.
I gasped. I
Yeah.
literally gasped,
Oh,
you
good.
know?
Yeah.
Good. Well, Pierce and Helen, I think audiences are going to be
Yeah.
so surprised and
Because
thrilled to watch their characters in
they're
this.
both so talented. We've seen their careers play out, and they are having so much fun on this particular job because the freedom in which they have to play. And look, they're both movie stars. They're charismatic, they are generous, they are everything you want them to be. But the fact that they're so unhinged in this show, and frightening at times. Pierce is genuinely frightening, like you say.
Yeah.
It's
And Helen,
delicious.
and Helen's
Yeah.
character, yeah.
You
Helen's
know,
so lovely in real life as well. They're both like the most gorgeous
yes.
people.
Yeah.
And Helen said a few times, there's a dinner scene that we did, and something she has to say in this scene, she'd say to the actor, I don't mean it. I'd never actually be this horrible. She's so lovely.
Prerequisite.
Yeah, it's just I just love it. I can't wait to get more. You both have given us such amazing performances over your careers and TV, film. But when you have something, when you get to work on a series, Joanne, I'll ask you first. Is it more of an, wonderful to have that opportunity to really flesh out this character as opposed to doing a 2-hour film? Because to me, especially with Mobland, it feels like they're 1-hour movies, like one at a time. So to be able to flesh out a character, do you enjoy that, to have that luxury?
Yeah, it's lovely to do both, and I've been saying it actually. Filming this actually felt like filming 10 1-hour movies, not filming, a TV
Episodic
show
TV, yeah.
as such. It's just different, isn't it? It's a different process. So when you're doing a film, you have the beginning, middle, and end. You have the script before you start. It's a slightly different process in that way. And with episodic television and certainly with this, we didn't know how it was going to end. We didn't, Jez was still writing as we were filming. So it was very much unfolding
In front of us.
in front of us. And it was sort of we were developing it all together as we went on. So not developing the storylines, but we were developing as characters as Jez was developing the script. So in that way, it certainly keeps things fresh. And I think it worked really well for this world of Mobland, because it's a world where you really don't know what's going to happen next. And we really didn't. So it kept us like, oh, wow. Okay. It kept us on the edge of our seat as well.
Yeah, and Lara, you play this mom who we find out in episode 1, her son has done something pretty awful, but yet, hey, you know what? I'm part of the mob. Let's cover it up. Seriously, like
It's so conflicting. It's really conflicting to play Bella, because she does have a moral compass, and I think she's an absolute byproduct of her circumstances, in the sense that she has a very complex, dark relationship with her own father.
Yes.
And she's almost found like solace in marrying what appeared to be this wonderful, loving family that actually are more unhinged and chaotic than her own. And her son has definitely been influenced by his grandmother, played by Helen Mirren, and is almost doing her bidding. And there is absolutely nothing I can do about it. And yet you can't ever cut that umbilical cord.
Right.
So your care and your desire to protect your child knows no bounds. And yet it's falling on dead ears, sadly.
Yeah, it's great. And I love that you're playing opposite Paddy Considine, one of my favorite actors in the world. He's so good too. Okay,
Yeah,
I got
he's
a minute or
wonderful,
so. I can't not ask you about Downton Abbey, of course, because being a huge fan, never missed an episode, never missed the movies. I've hosted Q&As here in Toronto. I'm a little obsessed. So when the date was announced for the final film, boo-hoo, but okay, September 12th, the internet went insane. What was it like to be on set with everybody again? We've got some new people too that we're going to meet. But knowing that this is probably going to be it, Joanne.
This is definitely going to be it.
Okay.
For these characters as we know it. Yeah, it was oh my goodness, it was emotional. I actually Brendan and I shot the very final scene of the shoot, which was amazing because everyone came in, lots of the actors that weren't filming that day came in for the final moment, and all our crew, obviously, and some of our crew or some of our team had been there from the start,
Yes.
So it was a really emotional full circle moment. It was
But a huge chunk of your life,
yeah,
isn't
15 years ago that we started filming the first season.
Amazing.
15 years, a decade and a half. And we've worked together on and off for all that time. So it's been a huge part of our lives, and we've been a huge part of each other's lives. So
special, isn't it?
really special. Yeah, I feel very, very blessed to have been a part of
Do you
it.
think we'll be doing Mobland in 15 years now?
I hope so.
Well, let's hope. But look, this family has a lot of stories to tell. And Lara, just to wrap up, is it true that you're going to be back on stage in Fiddler on the Roof?
Yes, yeah, the Barbican in London.
One of my favorite shows. Like,
oh
my God,
come to
how
London.
excited are you?
She's also been nominated for an Olivier for Best Actress in a Musical, which is this weekend. Sorry, I just had to put that in there.
Yes,
very good.
For said role.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Oh, no, thank you. It'd be lovely to be back on stage. I did the show, I did Fiddler last year for an 8-week run at Regent's Park Open Air Theatre, which was really magical, having not been on stage for 10 years since Gypsy opposite Imelda Staunton. Yeah. So the fact that we then got these 13 nominations and are moving to the Barbican for an 8-week limited run, I mean, how lovely.
I got to get a ticket to London and come see you guys, honestly.
Oh, we'd love to have you, Bonnie.
I would love it. Listen, I know there's other people waiting to talk to you, but thank you so much to both of you for your time this morning. Mobland is amazing. I can't wait to get more. Thank you so much. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Okay, ladies.